Hello, my name is Shim. In the next few videos, I will show you how to learn vibrato on the violin step by step in detail. If you play the violin and haven't yet learned the vibrato, you're probably very eager to learn it. It was the same for me as a young student. Vibrato can make your playing so much more beautiful. But vibrato is quite a difficult technique, and it's very important to learn the right way from the start because it's difficult to fix bad habits later on. So I encourage you to be very careful following the instructions and not to form bad habits while learning. The reason why vibrato is difficult is that you have to relax your hand to be able to move it freely, and this may be difficult for you in the beginning. You have to relax your hand while planting your fingers strongly enough not to slide while moving your hand back and forth. Many students are so eager to learn vibrato, but once they learn it, they sometimes avoid using it because it's uncomfortable. If you feel your hand or arm is tense while playing the violin, I suggest that you practice relaxing your hand and arm first before learning or using vibrato. I think a good time to learn vibrato is when you can play comfortably in the first position. You should see if you can play well in tune in the first position and see if you developed sufficient finger strength to hold notes without getting tense. And you are able to play relaxed while playing. Vibrato can be unnatural and uncomfortable at the beginning, but if you practice daily with patience, you can play with a beautiful vibrato too. I myself took many years to become comfortable with the vibrato, and I continue to practice it to this day, and I'm still discovering new ways to make it better. For string players, vibrato is analogous to the way we speak our language. Vibrato is unique just as each player has his or her own unique way of speaking. We can often identify and distinguish the performer just by listening to their vibrato. For me, vibrato is one of the first things I notice when I don't practice for a few days. It moves stiffly like a rusted machine, and when it's well practiced, it feels great as it moves smoothly. By using different types of vibrato, we can change the color, we can express the different emotions, we can change a character, and we can play some passages passionately or sweetly. In a gentle passage like this, you use a gentle vibrato like this. Now let's take a look at the basic movement of vibrato. Vibrato is made by fingertips rocking motion as it lies and comes back up like this. It's important that the fingertip playing a note does not slide as you move your hand back and forth like this. When the hand moves back, the finger lies flat, and when hand comes back, the finger comes back upright again. And this fingertips rocking motion, when it's played fast, it vibrates a note, and this is the mechanism of vibrato. There are two commonly used types of vibrato. Arm vibrato uses arm movement. This makes wide vibrato, and it's used in passionate passages or warmly singing passages. Another type is wrist vibrato using wrist movement. You can make smaller and more gentle vibrato this way, and it's used in sweetly singing passages. Since it is simpler to learn arm vibrato, we'll learn arm vibrato first. First of all, the most important thing is the flexibility in the joints of the fingers, wrist and arm. So it's important to relax the joints. If the hand or arm is tense, it produces a jerky and unnatural movement, and it will make your hand and arm tired quickly, and it can even lead to tendonitis. To learn the movement while relaxing the hand, let's try basic movement without the violin first. Let's take a look at our fingers and go over the names of the joints. Now, we'll call this first joint and this base joint of thumb. This is first joint, second joint, and base joint. First joint, second joint, and base joint. So the first step would be loosening the base joint of thumb. This joint has to be able to move freely like this. So let's hold your left thumb with your right hand like this and shake your hand gently and lightly. Be sure that the thumb is relaxed while doing this. And now we are going to put fingertips lightly touching your back of the hand and continue the same movement. Make sure your thumb is still relaxed. And this time we are going to try to hold one finger in one place while doing the same movement. And this time, make sure the first joint of the finger is moving freely as you move a hand back and forth. And keeping your thumb relaxed. So let's try this motion with the third finger. Let's keep only one finger and lift the other fingers and try the same motion. If this motion is not comfortable, go back to this motion so you remember what it feels like, and then put your finger back. Make sure all the fingers are curved naturally and all relaxed. Let's try first finger. And the fourth finger. We're not pressing much, so your hand should be nice and relaxed. Now step 2, we'll try the same movement with the violin this time. So hold your violin with your right arm like this, and let's place your thumb on the neck of the violin this way. And we will shake hand just like we did before, but make sure your thumb is not sliding like this, stays in one place, and your hand will move back and forth lightly. Now let's try putting your fingers lightly on the string. It doesn't matter which string, you can even put it in all 4 strings differently, and just try sliding on the strings like that. The important thing is relaxing all your fingers and joints. Now we are going to put one finger and continue the same movement, not pressing on the string. We will just put it lightly on the string and move your hand back and forth the same way we did before. And make sure that your first joint is moving as your hand moves back and forth. And make sure that the fingertip is not sliding up or down. It stays in one place. If the first joint is not relaxed, what will happen is as your hand moves back and forth, your fingertip will slide, and this is not vibrato. So try this movement for each finger for about 1 minute each, making sure that the first joint is relaxed. This is the exercise to loosen your joint, so focus on loosening your first joints. When you do fourth finger, this is a slight exception. First and second joint will move together. So your pinky will become almost straight and then it curves back. Now step 3, this time we'll put little pressure on the fingers and do the same movement. So let's try the second finger. Check that your hand and finger joints are still relaxed and try moving this hand. Try not to clench your fingers together like this or any fingers sticking out like this. All fingers should be nice and relaxed, nicely spaced apart and curved naturally. Now also, do not try to move your first joint only, or you should not even try to move the first joint. When you move your hand, the first joint will move naturally as a result of that movement. So the source of the movement is the hand, not the joint like that. Let's try the same for the third finger. Check that your thumb is still relaxed. And try the fourth finger. And you can increase the speed if you feel a little comfortable, and at any point if you feel getting tight like this, then try relaxing it again. You can even go back to this movement and then put your finger back. Today we learned the preparation exercises for learning vibrato. Do this for at least 2 days so you can loosen the joints and get familiar with the correct movement. And then you can watch the next video, which will include the next steps and an exercise routine that will help your vibrato become more proficient and more natural. Vibrato is a difficult technique and it will take some time to become natural and comfortable. If you practice every day with patience, you will be able to play with a beautiful vibrato too. I will end this video with an introduction of a sweet and beautiful passage singing with a vibrato. It's Vieuxtemps Concerto number 4. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you'd like to be notified when the next video is up, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I hope you have a great day and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.